one of Iola and Harlan's neighbors, the Plea Halls. I don't know whether you remember, you're too young to remember on many of these things. Anyway, they had 2 girls and 2 boys. One morning, the father was taking the daughter, Lorna, which is close to Harla's age. He was taking her to, I think, Bemidji to college. It was a winter day with icy roads. And her father was taking her, and somehow, some way, Lorna hit the door handle. Out she went, and she was killed. The mother was, of course, devastated, naturally. I can't imagine what it can be to lose a child. But Anne, that was the mother's name, she said to the minister, she said, "Why was my daughter taken away from me? She was an ideal child. We never had any problems with her. Why was she taken away from me?" He says, "I can't answer that. I don't know." I thought, Renee, at the time, I liked that minister. He's not saying, well, this is God's will. You can't always accept that, But he said, "I can't answer that. I don't know." Mm-hmm. Yeah. This little boy went to his mother and he said, "Where did I come from?" And she said, "Well, I'll try to explain it to you." She said, "The earth was formed, and there was shrubbery and grass and fish. You had animals, and eventually there was humans, and that's where you came from. But," she says, "you go and ask your father." So the father said, "Well, I'll try to explain it to you." He said, "The earth was formed, and then there were all this growth that you know of, the grasslands, the trees, and so forth." He said, "And then there was animals." And he says, "From the animals," he said, "there came monkeys." And he said, eventually the monkeys developed into humans. Oh, little boy said, So he goes back and he says to his mother, "Wait a minute. Now you're saying that I came from God, and Dad tells me I come from monkeys." He says, "Now, which is it?" She said, "Well, the monkeys, that's your dad's side. That's his side of the family." Little ridiculous, but that's...
Awesome.
This is coming from my niece, Krista's sister.